Chapter 1, A New Beginning. As the moving truck pulled up to their new house in the quiet town of Silverwood, Ethan felt a mix of excitement and apprehension. He had just turned 13 and was starting his teenage years in a new place, with no friends or family to speak of. His parents had gotten new jobs in Silverwood, and Ethan had no choice but to come with them. He stepped out of the truck and took in his new surroundings. The house was a modest two-story Victorian with a wraparound porch and a well-kept lawn. It was nestled among towering oak trees and lush gardens. Ethan couldn't help but feel like he had stepped into a fairy tale. His parents were busy unloading the moving truck, so Ethan decided to explore his new neighborhood. He wandered down the street, admiring the quaint shops and charming cottages. He soon came to a park with a playground and a pond. He sat down on a bench and watched the children playing. Suddenly, he heard a voice in his head. "Hello, Ethan." Ethan startled and looked around. He was alone in the park. "Who said that?" he asked. "It's me," the voice replied. "I'm the gray heron." Ethan looked up and saw a majestic gray heron perched on a branch of a nearby tree. The heron had wise, intelligent eyes. "A talking bird?" Ethan said in disbelief. "Yes," the heron replied. "I'm from a magical world beyond this one. I'm here to help you." Ethan was skeptical at first, but the heron's sincere eyes convinced him that it was telling the truth. "Why are you here to help me?" he asked. "Because you are a special boy," Ethan the heron replied. "You have the potential to do great things. But you need to learn to believe in yourself and your abilities." Ethan smiled. He had always been a shy and insecure boy, but the heron's words gave him a boost of confidence. "Thank you," he said. "I appreciate your help." "You're welcome," the heron replied. "Now, there's something I need to show you." The heron led Ethan to a secluded spot in the park. There, hidden among the trees, was a dilapidated stone tower. "This is a gateway to the magical world," the heron explained. "But it is only accessible to those who have a pure heart and a strong spirit." Ethan looked at the tower with awe. He couldn't believe that he was about to enter a magical world. "Are you ready?" the heron asked. Ethan nodded. The heron flew to the entrance of the tower and knocked with its beak. The door creaked open, and a swirl of mist poured out. "Go on," Ethan the heron said. "Your destiny awaits." Ethan took a deep breath and stepped through the door. Chapter 2, The Magical World. Ethan found himself in a lush meadow filled with wildflowers and butterflies. A crystal-clear stream flowed through the meadow, and a gentle breeze rustled through the leaves of the trees. He was surrounded by strange and wonderful creatures. There were unicorns grazing in the distance, fairies flitting from flower to flower, and dragons soaring overhead. Ethan was amazed by everything he saw. He felt like he had stepped into a dream. He wandered through the meadow, marveling at the beauty of the magical world. He came across a group of fairies dancing in a circle. They welcomed him with open arms and invited him to join them. Ethan danced with the fairies until he was exhausted. Then, he lay down in the grass and watched the clouds drift by. He felt at peace and content. After a while, he got up and continued his exploration. He came across a forest filled with towering trees and exotic animals. He saw talking animals, magical plants, and creatures he had never seen before. Ethan spent the rest of the day exploring the magical world. He had so many adventures that he lost track of time. Finally, as the sun began to set, he knew it was time to go home. He returned to the tower and knocked on the door. The heron opened the door and led him back to the park in Silverwood. Thank you for letting me visit the magical world, Ethan said. It was an amazing experience. You're welcome, the heron replied. But remember, Ethan, the magical world is always open to you. All you need to do is believe. Ethan smiled and nodded. He knew that he would never forget.